Hello everyone, how is everyone doing?
That I've made.
What's up guys? How is everyone doing? I hope you are all doing well. Welcome to the Be Positive show guys. It's been a week and I miss all of you. I hope you're doing well. Guys, this is the Be Positive show and congratulations to us. We are on episode 10 you guys. It's been a long journey. It's almost been 2 months of me doing this show and I'm very happy to be able to host it every single weekend for you guys. Welcome guys, I can see you all coming in. Guys, as usual, our people being hosted are amazing, and this guy, he's amazing because he has the same headset as me. This is literally the only reason he's amazing. But no, guys, this is Gabriel Desouza, a basketball enthusiast, guys. Gabby has a show on Instagram called the 50C Ball, which is a very interesting name, and he's gonna tell us more about it in a second. So yeah, Gabby, tell us more about you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, BB. It's a real pleasure, man. Real honor being on the show. Just thank you for the time, man. So yeah, basketball is a big deal in the UAE. Well, in life generally, and I guess this show is all about how it has influenced me, not just me, but like a bunch of other ballers in general. So yeah, 50C is something that I started probably 2 months ago. And it's been amazing doing the show because I pretty much do the same thing you're doing, except it's with just basketball players. We're not keeping in mind their skill. We just want to know their story, just like how you are, right? So yeah, 50C Ball is a show about basketball in the sandbox. So
That's amazing. And guys, again, as usual, like every week, to get this information, the command !guest, and you will be able to get all this lovely socials and all the information about Gabby and his profile page. Please go share, give him some love, and if you are a basketball fan yourself, definitely get in touch with him, and he's definitely gonna hook you a spot, especially because you're coming from me, to be able to talk about your story and how basketball has impacted your life. So Gabby, let's start with you personally. So who are you, what do you do, and what is basketball to you?
Oh man, what a deep question. So, forget about basketball for a second. Well, I was born and raised here, just like most of your guests, and studied here as well. But in terms of basketball, man, it's been a huge part of my life. Been playing it since I was like 10 or something.
Wow.
So, a real influence came from my cousins because they used to take me to the court. And I was just a little kid then, and they were all like, 25-year-olds, 30-year-olds. And I used to just follow them to the park and then take some shots up. They wouldn't let me play because I was too small and skinny. So, but yeah, eventually I got a little taller and they let me play with them. And then eventually I stopped playing with them and then went into my own circle of friends and started going to parks by myself. So that was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, basketball has pretty much made me who I am now. And it's almost as if I have two personalities, which is on the court and off the court. So like, if you meet me off the court, I'm probably like this quiet guy who won't talk to you unless you ask me a question. But like on the court, I'll be in your face, I'll talk trash to you, I'll make you feel bad about yourself if you piss me off, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's it.
And I love how you mentioned that phrase, off the court and on the court, and this is exactly what our title is there a basketball culture outside the court? And wow, I'm glad to know that you're an asshole on the court. That's lovely. But I actually like that, and especially basketball in the UAE. I know that football is the main dominant sport in the UAE and in the Middle East region. But at the same time, I still see a lot of basketball players, and I personally play both sports. Not as regular, but I played both of them. But I genuinely enjoy basketball more, and I feel it's more interactive. It's more community more than football, in my opinion, because you build yourself as a team, and it's usually a team of 5, excluding the substitutes, and you build that really close relationship, especially if you started in the university team or if you started in a school team, and a lot of the people in that sport know each other. And I'm sure you, Gab, you've done this as well in your university. You were in a Harriet Watt official basketball team, and good to know that. And you obviously tell us more about this. So you were young and small. You also mentioned that. And guys, if you've seen the picture of the post, he's no longer young and small. This guy's like uh, buffed and muscular. The guy's like worked so hard on his body, and dude, good job to you. That again, basketball does encourage you to pursue and maintain your fitness, which is also a very good thing, guys. And you should definitely, if not basketball, then you should all consider doing a sport in general. And I think that's really important. All right, Gab.
Definitely.
So what was like your progression in basketball? So you said you started in school. You used to play in the parks. How did you join a basketball team? I know the university one, but did you join in school? And how did it take you from there? Did you like get into a national team perhaps, or something like that? Or is there plans of you applying to something like that?
Okay. I love this question because there's something unique about me as a basketball player. Like you, if you compare a Filipino basketball player or an Indian basketball player, for example, they would stay in their own circle, right?
Mm.
So Filipinos love playing against Filipinos, Indians love playing against Indians. But the thing about me is I'm half Indian and half Filipino, right? So my basketball journey was really fun actually because I never stayed in one particular basketball circle. So in the beginning when I was a kid, I used to follow my Filipino cousins to the Filipino courts and only play with Filipinos, right? But eventually I started visiting different kinds of courts. So eventually I went to these communities with like different mixed nationalities, Filipino courts, Indian courts, sometimes these courts with mixed people. Murdiff is a good example of that, Murdiff court. And eventually when I grew bigger and well I'm 5'8", it's not that tall, but eventually when I grew a little bit taller, I started playing in leagues. So one of my first leagues was in a Filipino league, but eventually some Indians saw me and they were like, "Hey, why don't you join us? Are you Indian? Are you half Indian or something?" I'm like, "Yeah, I actually have an Indian passport, so I can play in your league." And then I played with them. This team called Eagles. It was really fun. And then there's this other one of the biggest leagues in Dubai is called Ball Above All.
Mm-hmm.
So in Ball Above All, it's this multicultural league full of different people from different nationalities. Yeah, so that was really fun. And I joined the team with my coach Ron. So that was really fun. So yeah, that's pretty much my. What is this question I see? Yeah, good to know, Dalia. So yeah,
Well, Gab is on the Twitch chat, so I don't actually read the comments for him, so he's good on that. But I was actually gonna tell you, so people are actually relating to what you're saying, specifically about the Murdiff courts, and that's amazing. And it's good that you actually participate in all this, and you've built a community per se. So who were the people who were like in your close circle, let's say, who kind of encouraged you to do this and always pushed you when you felt like giving up? Any person you want to give specific shout outs to, or any person that kind of helped you throughout the way?
man. Okay, so funny story. I never made my high school team. That's the
Ooh.
thing. That's the thing about me. I never made my high school team because they were really, really good, and I was not. I was really small and skinny, and there was no room for me because there was already a bunch of other Filipinos who were playing the same role as me, but way better. So it was only in university where I really blew up, and in my second year I became the captain of the basketball team,
Wow.
and pretty much was the best player there. We won a lot of games, we won a lot of championships there. So it was really good from not making the high school team to being like the star on a university team. So that was really
Was
fun.
there anyone involved in that kind of, like, let's say,
Right.
time of period who kind of pushed you? Because I'm sure, like, after maybe not getting to, maybe you felt some like bad thoughts. You're like, oh no, I might not be able to make it. Maybe I should not play basketball together. Was there anyone that kind of kept pushing you?
Yeah. So I forgot about your question, but yeah, there is one specific person in my life who pretty much changed my view on basketball. Okay, but let me just before I mention who that person is, I'll just rewind a bit. So before I met this person, I was a huge basketball player, but I never really loved it as much. I just thought it was like a small hobby of mine. I'll just play in the parks, nothing more. When I met Coach Ron, he's probably not on this. He's not watching. I know that, but he when I met Coach Ron, who is my university coach in Harriet Watt. He pretty much changed my outlook on how I see basketball. He taught me to not only play better, but also to be a better person off the court. So that was really important. Yeah, pretty much my Filipino coach, Coach Ron.
Well, a big shout out to Coach Ron, and again, guys, this episode will be recorded. So Gab, you're most welcome to go and show it to him after it's been uploaded on YouTube. So go show him, be like, hey, Coach Ron, this is me now. I have muscles and everything.
Oh wait. One more other person. So that's the positive. On the negative, there is this one other person. His name is Arman Maliwat. This guy discouraged me so much, man. Like he bullied me in a funny way, in a good way, like throughout of high school, and he said I would never be a good basketball player. He always discouraged me. He never let me play on the court. He never picked me on his team, and that's what kind of motivated me to be better.
Well, a big thank you to Arman for literally beating the shit out of him till he became good. You know what they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And honestly, Gab, being your friend and knowing you recently, I've seen a lot of change in you. You're a much better person in your treatment with people. You've grown so much. You're very mature. And yeah, so guys, Gabby was actually one of my co-workers in my previous company, and great guy. I loved working with him. He's very motivational, and he's he's insightful about everything, and he really is hardworking, and that's what's really important. Committed to what he does, and in fact, his page got a lot of likes in the beginning, and then for some reason he got some technical issues and it didn't work out, but he didn't give up there and he kept doing it, and he opened another page which is growing as well. So guys, please use the command, the exclamation mark guest, go follow him. It's that I personally, I'm not like crazy about basketball, but I enjoy watching his podcasts. They're actually fun. Like you guys, you get to hear about funny stories just like the ones he's saying now. And it's really fun to just hear about these things. Even if you're not into sports, it's just a story that you might really enjoy. And yeah, just go give it a try. It's really worth it. And I promise you won't regret it. All right, Gab, moving on to the little more of the other side of you. So tell us more about what you do outside basketball. Do you play games? Do you work? Are you like into startups? Who are you outside of the court?
Outside the court, man, I'm really business minded, I guess you could say. I have this hustler mentality, if you know what, I'm sure you know what that means. So outside the court, I feel like I just try to absorb as many skills as I can. Other than going to the gym, my day consists of learning a new skill every day, which has nothing to do with basketball, whether that be Photoshop or a new editing, Premiere Pro editing, which is all for my page, by the way, 50c.ball. It's on Instagram. And obviously, video games, big part of my life. Definitely played it way before I started playing basketball. And right now I'm playing Warzone like almost every single night with my squad. Funny enough, Arman's on that squad as well. Arman, Ayman, those guys. So yeah, just a lot of Warzone every night after I play ball. Now the Trade Center's opened up.
That's cool. And I believe you were a Tekken champion in one of the tournaments that happened in the UAE, as far as I know.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the comments, man. GJ, what's up, bro?
Hey guys, if you are here from Gab's side, welcome to the channel. What I do is I do gaming content throughout the week, and I do my Be Positive show in the weekend. So do hit me up with a follow so you can see notifications on when I'm live. At the same time, make sure you're following this guy on his personal account and on 50C Ball account, which is a lovely, lovely show about basketball.
Yes, please follow BB, man. His content is amazing. Might not be the best gamer, but it's definitely entertaining.
That is true. I'm not in fact, I have this on my bio, guys. You can blame my terrible gameplay because of this amazing personality. But yeah, guys, let's get into more questions, Gab. What do you think of the culture in this region about basketball? So obviously basketball is a global sport. It's very, very popular in the States. It's very popular in like let's say the western region of the countries. Very popular in Asia as well, like Philippines, China, So what do you think of basketball in this region? And is there anything that you want to improve in this region, or something that you want to pursue as a community?
Amazing question. So, if you talk about 10 years ago in the UAE, football was really, really dominant in the UAE, right? There was not many indoor courts. There were still those parks with basketball courts here and there, but there weren't a lot of leagues 10 years ago, you know. And if there were any leagues, it was just the Filipino leagues, right? Because no matter what you do, there's always gonna be a Filipino league somewhere. Like even before COVID, every day there used to be a new league. So yeah, that's how it was before.
Passionate community, I see.
Yeah, and there were professional basketball teams represented in the UAE. I believe there was only very few compared to how it is now. Like there was only one national UAE team, and that's it. And all of them were adults. So that was the past. Now fast forward to now to 2020. There are so many leagues now. There are Indian leagues. There are Filipino leagues. There is this Ball Above All league. Shout out to Ball Above All, the biggest league in UAE probably, because they have this once in a year league called Seoul DXP.
Soul DXP. I actually heard of that before.
Yes, and they call the best teams from that league, Ball Above All, to play for free, right? And they give them shoes, they give them jerseys, they give them socks, they give them bags, sponsored by Nike. You know what I mean? So basketball is in league-wise, basketball-wise, is huge now in the UAE. I would argue it to be top 3 in the country right now in terms of popularity. And another huge thing in terms of basketball community is that kids under 18 can now become professional players.
Wow.
For clubs in the UAE. So you have clubs like Al Ali, Al Nasser, what else is there? Sharjah Club. There are kids playing basketball for money now, you know?
Wow.
So they achieve their dreams in such a young age, and they get to attend practice for free and get paid for that. So imagine that. If this was there like back then, man, that would be a dream. But unfortunately now I'm too old. But you know, I still love playing basketball just as I did when I was 13. So that's what's important.
That's amazing. We have a question in the chat from Salma, and she's asking you how many hours do you train daily, and do you take breaks, and says, tell us more about your techniques, and so techniques for training and your style in playing as well. What position do you play, and does it change based on your team? Tell us more about the techniques that you use in basketball.
All right. So first of all, I'm 5'8". All right, 5'8", Asian. So physical wise, I'm very limited, but I do play point guard in basketball. Point guard, shooting guard, depends on what team I'm playing for. So how many hours do I train daily? I'll tell you my routine. I wake up. Well, nowadays it's at 11 because of all the COVID stuff and everything has changed my body clock. I make sure to eat 4 meals a day at least, because I'm still trying to get bigger every day. Once I eat my breakfast and lunch, I leave and I go to the gym. Okay, so it really depends, because I always have a booking somewhere, whether a basketball booking in Trade Center or a basketball booking in some other indoor court, because no way I'm playing outdoors in this heat. So I go to the gym usually before I play in the indoor court, and I stay in the gym for probably an hour, and then I hit the court for probably 3 hours. Play some pickup, or if my coach is there, Coach Ron, he just makes us do drills and stuff.
Is this a daily thing, or like let's say every few days?
4 to 5 days a week.
4 to 5 days a week. And don't you get tired playing ball right after the gym? Because I know like people who do fitness and stuff or do you just not do a lot of cardio in the gym? You do more like it's a warm up for your basketball.
For me, I'm not trying to lose weight, so there's zero cardio when I go in the gym. So yeah, I'm not really. My body's kind of got used to it, so I don't really get sore when I play basketball after the gym.
That's good. And again, guys, I've seen this guy. He's pretty fit. He's always able to like run around, hold heavy stuff, even at work. So, wait, do it again, do it again. So, guys, if you want to clip this, go for it. He is pretty healthy, and it's really motivational because, especially at this time in like the whole quarantine and the COVID going on, people are getting lazier and lazier. And to be able to see that there are some people out there who are, in fact, still keeping up with their health, being able to train, go do what they love. It's really cool to know about that, and it's very very motivational. Thank you, Gab, for this. Another question from your friend that says qualities and traits of a hooper, which can be carried on to gaming. So like he's basically asking you what traits as a hooper would you encourage people to pursue and have as a basketball player.
Yeah, shout out to GJ, man. Thanks for the question. Love his fashion sense, by the way. Check him out. Okay, so let me just say this thing. There's a lot of NBA players who play games nowadays. Like, if right now the NBA is totally restructuring. If you didn't know, BB, the NBA is gonna restart at the end of this month, and they're being isolated in Disneyland, Orlando. So for quarantine and stuff. So they're getting checked every day, basically, if they have the virus or not, and they're being isolated. No one's allowed, no fans allowed. They're just gonna train for 1 month till the season starts, and all of them have brought their monitors with them, their PCs, their PS4s, their controllers, everything. They brought all these NBA players bring it. So it's really easy to transition my athlete personality to my gaming personality because it's pretty much the same thing. It also depends on the level of how good I am on the game. So like in Warzone, I'm like average, but my friend Ayman, who's really good at the game and is also a basketball player, by the way, gets very very angry at me and rages at me, which is kind of a karma thing, I would say, because I used to shout at him a lot on the court when he wouldn't run back. So it kind of balances out. So qualities of a hooper, I would say, is just the emotions that you have, the competitiveness that you have on the court.
Good point you mentioned here. So you were both at both ends. You were once the guy who calls out people, and then once you were the one being called out. How did it feel at both ends, and what do you think are the strengths and weaknesses on that? Like, how did it feel, and how did it impact you as a person? At the same time, another question that I have is, do you think that people in basketball actually get affected personally if like you call them out on something, or if you like give them a warning, or like telling them not what to do? Do you think that it's all banter and in the court just stays in the court, or do you feel that sometimes it could cause problems between the players or some sensitivity between each other?
I got your question. So let me just point out this court called Satwa Court. So Satwa Court has probably the most trash talk I've ever experienced in a pickup court. If you don't know where Satwa Court is, it's
next to Burj Al Arab, Burj Khalifa. It's where financial center is.
Yes, I don't know what they call it. It's next to Regis Hotel. Okay, so I used to play there around 10 p.m. and we used to do runs till like 1 a.m. And the community there is very mixed. There was a lot of African guys. Majority of them are African, actually. Every single play, there was trash talk. The game, you would never get tired in the game because you would run for 1 minute. You would run for 1 minute, and then you would stop because you would watch them argue the whole time. So that's the thing. In terms of sensitivity, like you would see these players trash talk each other, and they would stay quiet for like the whole night if they lost the game. It really depends on if they can back up the trash talk. So if you're gonna talk trash, you have to win the game. If you talk trash and lose the game, oh man, it's a horrible feeling. I've been a
trash talker.
I've been a trash talker who's backed up his talk, and I've been a trash talker who's, oh my God, Nico is here. And I've been a trash talker who got backfired by his trash talk, if you know what I mean. So this is the thing about basketball, man. You win some, you lose some. That's all I can say. Nico, get out of this chat, man.
A big shout out to Nico, guys. Nico's also a very popular basketball player in this region, and he's really great, just as muscular as and fit as Gab. He's also
More.
very,
More.
he's also very very good at the game, and he's very passionate about it. So a big shout out to Nico as well, and hi Don as well. All right. So moving on, Gab. Again,
BB,
Yeah.
1 second. There's a question you missed. Mo T Tan above GJ.
okay, that's from Atiyah.
Yeah.
So the question is, when everything was closed, did you train at home or how did you make it up for it?
Quarantine routine. Let me just say something, man. So before quarantine, I was on this strict vertical program on the gym, right? So after work, I used to go to the gym straight after and work on my hops, for basketball to jump higher and to finally achieve my dream of dunking because I'm 5'8". So that time is getting really
How
short.
close are you?
Right now, not really close. Like I can grab the rim, all that stuff. Great for a 5'8" guy, but after watching so many professional dunkers, I'm not satisfied with myself. You know what I mean? Moti Tan, yeah. A good thing I noticed your question.
Guys, again, if I don't see your question, it's because I'm focusing on like 3-4 conversations. It's really hard to do it as a host, but I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. And again, Gab is very, very helpful this time because he's actually reading the questions himself.
Okay.
So yeah, how close are you to dunking?
Honestly, I've been trying to dunk since I was 15, man, and it's really hard.
I think that's literally every basketball player's dreams. Like I
Yes.
remember, like I'm sure everyone had that moment when they did their first dunk and like the pride and like, oh, I can fly. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I've dunked, but not on a 10 feet rim.
Oh,
So,
okay. So like the,
so
the
go-
smaller ones.
Yeah. So going back to Motitan's question about the quarantine routine, after gyms closed, it was really demotivating. So what I used to do after 2 weeks of being lazy in the house and just playing video games, I went to my parking lot, and that's when I used to do dribbling drills, and I used to do this body weight program for jumping and stuff. But it was really hard without the gym, I would say. So I was really lazy. I kept up the ball handling drills like probably 4 times a week at best. So that's what I did during quarantine. But thank goodness courts are open now, man. So I'm back to that.
And that's really good. It's good that you kept going. You know, if you stopped, a lot of people fall into this where they stop something, or like let's say they stop a habit, and then they built another habit of not doing what they were doing, and it kind of gets really hard to push back and forward. So it's really good that you, even though that you didn't have the resources available to you, you still managed some way or another to be able to do something and to keep that, let's say, habit going on. Because it's in your brain, it was still like working out, it was still like going to the court, not the same feeling, but like conceptually the same way. That's really really cool. And have you ever pursued, like, let's say in the next 5 years, do you ever see yourself hitting it national? Do you see that you want to continue into basketball, or you want to branch out to maybe your business side and the hustling personality that you have? Do you feel like maybe you want to open a business in basketball per se? What's your plans, let's say, in the next 3 to 5 years?
Great question. Great question. So as I was a kid, I always dreamed about making the NBA, just like any other basketball player. As I grew older, I realized the NBA is really hard. So I thought, okay, there's other leagues. There's the Filipino leagues called the PBA, really famous league in the Philippines. And of course, there's European leagues everywhere. That's when I was 18. I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep trying. Moving on, two more years later, I was like, it is really hard to be a professional basketball player. And I'm 5'8", I'm Asian. It's almost impossible to be a professional athlete at this point. And the best I hoped to was just winning leagues and winning money from them. So that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. As soon as lockdown is over, quarantine, COVID is over, leagues are gonna start really soon in August, I believe, and I'm gonna just keep doing my thing, playing in leagues. Because it's all, in the end, it's all for the love of the game, man. I don't care about the money. I don't care about the fame. I just love playing basketball. Whether it's, even if I'm not the star, I just love being on the court. whether I'm just watching basketball on the bench or like playing on the court, learning from my coach, learning from my teammates. It's just love of the game. So yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So in terms of my plans now, I'm not gonna stop playing for a very long time. I'm not gonna stop playing for a very long time. And in terms of like what I want from basketball professionally, I used to be a coach a year ago. I used to coach my university here at Watt, and I used to also coach kids in this academy called PSSA. So much fun, and that's when I think my love for basketball amplified 10 times when I was a coach for kids, because there's this moment in my head. There's this moment in when I was coaching. This kid comes up to me, and she was like, "You're my favorite coach," and I was like, "Oh man,
Oh, that's so cute.
this is amazing. I love coaching kids. Unfortunately, with all COVID and everything, it stopped. But yeah. So other than being a coach, 50C 50C ball is something I'm gonna be very passionate about. Even though it started like 2 months ago, this is something I'm gonna make sure booms up. Like not just for me, but for the community of basketball in the UAE. So it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be good. I'm just planning to make 50C ball a brand. So to everyone's watching, at 50c.ball on Instagram, check it out. We got some good content over there, just like BB over here.
Again, guys, you can always use the command !guest to get that information. Again, guys, I hope you can actually make it, Gab. I hope that you can build your brand. Guys, if you are a basketball, this is really important to you guys. Like, again, he's there doing it, and he might not be where he wants to yet, but I'm 100% sure that the hustle and the hardworking personality and character that he developed throughout these years is going to help him get where he wants. Whether it's a business in basketball, whether it's making it to the NBAs. I mean, Gab, you're still young. I know usually this is the time or the prime time where people start getting into the NBAs, but you know, it's better late than never. You know, you still might make it, and nobody knows about that. You know, just don't give up, keep your dreams up, and hopefully one day you'll either make it to one of the big leagues or at least something that you feel like is comfortable enough and you want to stay there. You always mention that you are 5'8". Is there an idol for you in basketball who's as short as you are? I'm really interested in that. If not as short as you are, then who is your like biggest idol or player that you really look up to in basketball?
Yeah, bro, my idol is GJ Paneer. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. In terms of 5'8" ballers, there are these basketball players like Isaiah Thomas, or like 5'7", that I look up to. But my all-time favorite player is Derrick Rose, if you don't know who he is, because he got injured really a lot in his NBA season. Yeah, like almost every month he got a new injury, and he kept fighting and fighting and fighting. And here he is now. He dropped like 50 points. That's his career high like last season. So just his attitude towards the game is really motivating for me. So that's probably my idol. Another idol is probably my coach Ron, and that guy is living the basketball dream right now in terms of like just coaching for a living. So that's pretty cool.
Is he still a player, or he kind of retired from playing and he became a coach after that?
He still plays every single day.
Wow.
Nico, please don't decide to say Nico. Nah, Nico is not my idol, man. I don't even consider him my rival, to be honest. But yeah, Nico's a cool guy, man. I think he kind of he had a small part of who I am today, I guess. In terms of like comparing me to someone, like he might not think he's even close to me, but like whatever, man. Yeah, Nico, man. Shout out to Nico, bro.
Guys, again, this is literally what we're witnessing right now is a whole basketball rival trash talk. But like this is like the cool trash talk where you don't insult someone, but this is what basketball is all about, and it's really cool to be a part of that community. I personally am like I haven't touched the ball in a while, and I'm feeling like really excited, and I feel like I just want to go grab a ball, start like running hoops. It's really cool, and I'm really happy to see that community built in the UAE and this region. And I hope that the government start taking it more seriously and build better basketball players, build better courts for them to train, and take it into a whole next level, and to make it as important of a sport as it is in the West and in the East. Like I
Yeah.
think it's very very important that these guys would definitely get what they feel that they deserve, especially that they put so much effort into it. And I feel like if they get the support they need, they can reach to higher places as well.
Yeah, BB, just book the court in Trade Center, bro, and I'll come with you.
Definitely. I mean, guys, a big shout out to Dubai World Trade Center for they have a whole like indoor sports facility right now, and they always have it every summer. This is something really cool that we don't have in many countries in this region. It's we are so blessed to be in Dubai because it's really hot out here. It's really really hot, and for people who like Gab and like Nico and other players as well who play daily and feel like it's a part of their life to play basketball and generally sports, and having a place to go indoors where it's like fully air conditioned, being able to practice without having like to go through the heat and having to go through like sweaty fields and all that. It's really amazing, and we're really blessed to be in this specific country. A big shout out to the UAE in general for being able to provide as much as they can, you know. I think the players still would want to have more resources, but we are technically very blessed, and we're very happy to be a part of the UAE. So a big shout out to all the UAE governors and all the president and everyone who is in charge of this. We are really blessed, and thank you all. Gab, a question that I was go for.
I think you missed a question from GJ.
Did I? No, I didn't. Anyway.
He said, "How you feeling losing the 1v1 against Nico?"
Do you wanna answer that? Okay.
Yeah. I don't wanna feel like I'm ignoring the question. So, BB, if you didn't know, you know Impact Academy.
No.
Okay, there's this Impact Academy is one of the biggest basketball academies in UAE. Shout out to them. They basically train kids of all different ages, girls and boys, and they pretty much make them into amazing players, and sometimes even get them scholarships. They are like a connection to these US colleges. They're from Chicago. They're based from Chicago, and they have a really good CEO called Lukman, who's doing really good with Impact right now. So anyway, Impact hosted this 1v1 series, and they put me and Nico matched up, and they hyped it up so much for like 3 months. And I'm talking about like videos and posters of both of us, and there was a lot of trash talk. Nico made his own video on Instagram where he was like, don't really remember, but he was just mocking me, and I was like, I also made a video and I was mocking him also in the video in our personal IGs, and then Impact reposted it. They have like 10,000 followers right now.
Definitely
So-
would go and stalk this right after the show. Like I'm definitely
Yes.
gonna go to his Instagram and like look forward to seeing
Yes.
all this.
Yeah, so game day finally comes, and I lost against Nico. But GJ is asking me how I was feeling after I lost against Nico. All I was thinking was that while I was playing, I was really gassed. I was super tired. And I was just thinking after the game, like, how did this guy have the energy to go throughout, to finish the game, is what I mean. I mean, I could come up with 100 excuses why I lost the game. Like, I was sick, and the court was dark, blah, blah, blah. But, man, Nico beat me fair and square. His shot was working for him that day. That's all I can say, man. And his thing is, his specialty in basketball is that mid-range pull-up. And what can I say? He just used it against me.
That's really cool, and I guess he wanted it more. I believe that Nico wanted the win more.
Yeah, I mean, I
Perhaps.
was winning in the first half, like by 2 points, and all the momentum was on me, man. I was feeling myself. I made like 2 threes in a row, and my friends were like, "Man, you can actually beat him, bro." Yeah, I'm like, "I know, bro. This guy's nothing to me, bro." And then boom, Nico starts hitting all these shots. But it was fun, definitely.
Definitely something I wish I was there to watch this. This sounds like a really big event, and I'm hoping maybe in the future if you guys do it again, whether it's with Nico or with any other player, I'm really definitely interested. So Gab, I would like to ask you to like let me know and keep me in the loop of all these things. And again, guys, if you would like to, the only way to do this is to just follow him. He will probably be posting about all these events in his channel. So do follow him so you can get all the latest updates about basketball generally. Gab, I just want to ask you this interesting question, and I feel like it's very important to be able to get that insight. Have you ever thought that maybe basketball is not your thing? Was there any time where you just decided basketball is not my thing, or did you not? And if you did, why and how did that happen?
Whoa, tough question. I don't know, man. Has basketball not been my team thing? Yes, actually, yes. I did think about it a lot actually. Um, I had a lot of good times in basketball, especially in university. But I had a lot of low times in basketball as well. Like there are these games where we lost, and I put all the blame on myself, and I couldn't think about anything else except the loss for like a good 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It was very depressing. That's all I can say. After you lose a big game, especially when all your school is watching for the finals, and then you lose the game, and you don't perform as great as you expected. But the thing is, I never thought I would quit. I had these low times in my life where I was like, man, I really suck at basketball. I should stop playing. But after a while, you get over it, and then once you just go on the court alone and you shoot the ball by yourself, you just fall in love all over again, and you just get that motivation back. So basketball, just like life, is about good times and bad times. So
And I like to emphasize on the part that you never thought you were gonna quit. That I think that's where the power lies. I think if you decided to quit, maybe you've never came back to it. But like I'm really happy that you didn't. And as you can see, you're growing bigger, and you're growing better at the game. And I think that's really really important, because the more you put your like the more, let's say, like the more you failures you take into, the more better you become and the more you learn. And I think that's the power of the whole failure and moving it into success. And yeah, I just wanted to emphasize on that. And it's amazing to see that even really good players like in NBAs and stuff, all of them started with a couple of failures, and they were able to succeed and reach where they've reached today. Did you watch any like animes or, let's say, movies about basketball? Do you really get excited about those, or you just think they're like of the shadow, not really cool?
movies. Okay, you said anime. Did you say anime?
Anime, movies, just general. Like, are you in touch with like the whole media side of basketball?
Basketball is it's so multicultural, man. There's a huge pop culture in basketball as well, man. So it goes from shoes to video games, and since you mentioned movies, and cartoons and anime, I'll just list down my favorite basketball pop culture references. So anime, Kuroko no Basket, you have to watch that. Amazing basketball anime. Very unrealistic, like a guy shoots from full court, but it's really entertaining to watch. In terms of movies, Space Jam.
Oh,
Space Jam,
Space Jam is
all-time
the
favorite
best.
movie, all-time favorite basketball movie. And Space Jam 2 is coming out, if you didn't know, starring LeBron James. So that's gonna be really exciting. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Space Jam and Kuroko no Basket, man.
Space Jam, guys, is Looney Tunes into basketball. Like, there's nothing better. I think that movie is like made in 1995, something like that. It's that old, but guys, that movie is absolutely amazing. Like, it's literally, I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's Looney Tunes on steroids playing basketball. That is literally the explanation of that movie. It's one of the best, and I'm sure most of you guys here did watch it. All right, Gab. I would like to end with this last question. Your family, your friends, how supportive were they with your whole career on basketball? And feel free to give shout outs to anyone, or like to bash anyone. I mean, if I see a slipper flying, I'll just end the call. Don't worry about that. But how supportive were they, and what were their opinion about you? Like, I'm sure you've thought at sometimes you just want to not do any job, not do any employment, just live for basketball. How did they feel about that, and were they supportive? And what else would you have wished for as a basketball player?
Okay. So in terms of my family, they're actually really supportive, and they let me, despite what's happening in the pandemic and everything, They still let me go to the gym because they know like I'll be safe there. They still let me play on the courts because they also know it's safe there. So I guess I'm really thankful for that because I know basketball players I know personally, some of my friends that are not allowed to get out the house. So I'm thankful for that. But before the pandemic, they were really supportive as well. They didn't mind that I had a bunch of leagues. They didn't mind that I overworked my body. I mean, moms are gonna be moms. They're always gonna be concerned, like, oh, why are you limping? Why are you limping? I'm just sore. I'm just sore. That's But in terms of my friends, I guess I'm really thankful that they keep motivating me and also demotivating me because that's what fuels my fire. I guess I'm more thankful to the haters than my supportive friends, like Nico, for example. He talks a lot of trash, and that just motivates me to get better and to prove him wrong and to back my trash talk sometimes.
Well, guys, well, you know what to do, guys. Go give him all the hate you can give him. Tell him he sucks in basketball. He doesn't deserve to play the game, and and then he's gonna come back to you guys
Yeah.
and prove you wrong. Because I know
Same.
Gab. I know he's a tiger, and he'll do it.
Yeah, say my page sucks, say 50C ball is trash, and you know what I'm gonna do? Post
Nah.
more fire content.
Nah, guys, we're kidding. Show him all the love you can. He's a great guy, and he's been working really hard on this page and on his basketball passion. So he deserves it. And Gab, again, to you specifically, I would like to thank you for being on the show. You did take some time of your life to be able to be here, give us all this lovely, insightful information, and the whole idea of the basketball, it kind of really interested me, and I'm really thankful that I know more about it, and I feel like I want to get involved, and what are I want to get in there, play basketball, trash talk some people, get into fitness. I think you got me excited, and I'm sure if people were listening to this as well, they would have been like excited as well, even if they're not in the UAE or somewhere near you, they would have been really, really excited. uh, Again, they're all telling you, wishing you the best, and they're very happy that you are here. um, any last words you want to say, Gab, before we end this show?
Yeah, so for whoever's listening, even if you're not a basketball player, or if you're a basketball player, just keep improving yourself. In whatever you're doing, find the passion that you really love, and just work on it every single day. That's all I'm gonna say. And don't forget to follow 50c.ball on Instagram. And yeah, that's
All right, guys,
pretty much it.
keep playing. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here. Guys, I'm going to be hosting a female Filipino streamer who's actually been here to Dubai. So if you guys know Alodia, she's a famous gamer in the Philippines, and I'm going to host her friend Ashley. So guys, do show her some love as well. Again, guys, they're wishing you best of luck, Gab. Thank you all for being here, guys. I do gaming content in the weekdays, and I do my show on the weekends. So do hit me up with a follow, and go follow Gab as well, so you can get all the notifications and all the latest news about both of our shows. Thank you guys so much for being here. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna be hosting that friend. See you all, and take care. Bye.
Peace.